So we're live. Welcome to this live. I will be talking about the full armor of God. The full armor of God is taken from the Bible. I think the pronunciation here might be wrong, but Ephicians 6:10-18. I will actually put something in the chat here. So it will be more or less what I will be talking about. And I see I had prepared a long thing here, but it was I can only use 200 characters, but it was 7,766 characters long. So I will have to put that into pieces. Jesus pieces. Okay. Let's see if we can do this a bit smoothly. No, not at all. Let's see. I will do like this. Armor of God. There we have it. Full armor of God as inspired by Ephesians 6:10-18. And so, the full armor of God, as I understand it, is a spiritual protection so that you may be at peace and remember your truth always. It's a very simple and very effective way to stand in your highest truth. And the point being that it will help you to be protected, it will protect you and help you live your life in a good way so that you can be at peace in this world of chaos where it is so easy to be attacked in our minds, in our feelings, in spirit. Yeah, and I want to also say that it is of importance that to understand that there are real forces that twist our minds and feelings and manipulate. I've always been very careful on how to touch on this subject, but I don't think we lose anything really in saying that there are real forces, no matter how you want to see it, that twist and turn our hearts and minds, just as there are good forces. In the end, the lesser forces, so to say, are to be transformed. My own vision on it all is that it's all for a higher good, and we shouldn't fear the lesser forces. Rather, they force us to become and stand in our highest truth. Yes. But there are like there is like a manipulative intelligence that lives within us in our creation. It has a like a thinking capacity, or a capacity to for elaborate schemes and manipulation. And so we have to be very careful, always alert in our minds, hearts, and to make sure that we have a good energy always. I think the best kind of energy is to see that we will help transform these lesser energies. We are helping them to transform, or even casting them out. I don't know, you know. Transformation, but sometimes, yeah, just cast them out. It's just okay, this is wrong and goodbye. Anyways, so with regards that we have forces are all around manipulating our minds and hearts. We can all recognize, or we can all recognize that we have felt things in our mind, in our hearts, that makes us think lesser thoughts and feel lesser feelings. Sometimes late at night we're tired, and bad thoughts will infest our temple, and so we lay down at night and wandering and turning and twisting. And so there is a great protection for this. And I will read Ephicians 6:10-18. That is the inspiration for this video, and where we can find the full armor of God. So the full armor of God, as it says in the Bible, it says, "Finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood. It is against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armor of God so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground, and after you have done everything, to stand. Stand firm then, with a belt of truth buckled around your waist, with a breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, and pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the Lord's people." And that was the Ephesians 6:10-18. And you can find it also in the chit chat. The full armor of God. And with that as an inspiration, I've done my own armor as I imagine it. And I will be sharing that also. So personally, I see a crown, and I call it the crown of eternity. For our true nature is eternal, beyond time and space. There is our eternal soul, and it goes from lifetime to lifetime. There is nothing that can ever happen to us that can affect us in a deeper meaning. There is no illusion, there is no darkness. In the Hindu scriptures, they say the soul cannot be cut, it cannot be drowned, it cannot be burned, it cannot be affected in any way, like it cannot be manipulated or lessened. You cannot make the spirit less than what it is. All of that is of this world, which is of illusion. So putting on the crown of eternity is remembering our true nature and also seeing ourselves as we are. And in that instance, as we have the crown on and remember to keep it on, we can zoom out from our lives here on earth, and we see the earth as a small little blue ball, like this big perhaps. And we can see it spinning and see all the humans that ever lived, with all the problems that ever was, a lot of horrible pain, chaos, torture, many experiences that we have had. Truly, through terror, through terror, deep, deep evil darkness, bad thoughts, through agony, misery on such a deep level, and yet it has only existed but a flicker in time. Our true nature is that of eternity, of bliss, of joy, of peace, of justice, of truth, harmony, balance. The evil forces, the principalities, as they say, that governs our ego and lesser thoughts, they will tell us that no, we will never be good, we will never have enough, we will never be enough, we will suffer for all eternity, we will be in darkness and cold, and we will be alone. And this is not true. For our truth is divine, it's eternal, it is freedom. And this world that we live in is but a flicker in time. And standing, zooming out from the earth and looking beyond time and space, we see the earth and the sun and the planets, and we see how they spin and we turn back time. Billions of years have passed in this existence, but truly God is eternal, we are eternal. And so, as we put on the crown, we also put on the divine vision of peace. We can see the divine connection to all things in all creation. We can see the connection with all the humans. And I truly believe that we as humans are set here on earth in order to look after creation, in order to guard creation. And we do that simply by living in our truth, by knowing ourselves, always having a big picture focus in mind. If we could always have that big picture, we would never get lost in the small details. We would never try to use our small individual self in order to solve anything. Rather, we would leave it to God's hands always. And this is what we need to do. And this is the full armor of God, standing in the higher truth, leaving all your problems to God always. Just leave it up. Just put your hands up. Sometimes I put my hands up in the air. Da, 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 da. Some song like that. And we walk this earth, yes. But the inspiration comes from beyond thoughts. And so at all times, to truly do anything, we leave it up to the divine intellect, to the divine spirit. And so we see the divine in all humans that we come across. So no matter what happens, even if someone treats us badly and such, we can see their divine nature and we can speak directly to the divine nature. We don't have to become friends with everybody because many are lost in a false reality. And we are better off without certain people, I believe. But we can always see the divine in them. So even if they do the most evil, wicked things, which is a tiny, 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 tiny little thing in our existence, no matter how horrible it is, that is the truth. Um, we can always love them, for they are playing a part, and I'm sure they're all playing a very important part in creation, no matter how evil and wicked they are. And actually, I believe that the more evil and wicked someone is, the greater the miracle will be for them when time comes. And their time will come. We're living in the end of days, and that is also a very important part of all of this. And so, we're in the end of days, and we are eternal beings about to awaken, and that is our mission here, to awaken, to remember our true nature, but the true nature of us is also the true nature of all of creation. Eternal, peace, balance, harmony, beyond ego, unity. This is truth. You can see it in the physics, the united field of consciousness, or quantum field. I think it's called the quantum field or something like that. And we can see that all things are united. And as we start to live in that space, we see that all things are from the divine. And personally, I as I put down the crown of eternity and the divine vision of peace, um, because the divine vision gives us peace as we remember who and what we are, our uh, eternal nature, our connection to all humans and to all animals, plants, the sun and the moon, the planets, the stars, all of creation, and beyond time and space. We can see that illusion in shape of pain and suffering is only just a flicker. And that is sometimes easier to say, but I truly believe that the more we live in that space, the more we can really feel it. Just think about the biblical prophets and the mm, the followers of Jesus that suffered for their truth, and yet I'm sure they did it gladly. Something made them hold on to their truth even though they were tortured and murdered. Um, yes. And so, we put on the divine vision of peace, and we see the divine in all things. And doing that, we see that illusion is just this tiny, tiny little flicker, and it just melts away as we stand more and more in our truth. And we have put on the crown and the vision, and now we put on the necklace of creation. The necklace of creation for me speaks that again our unity, but here it comes to standing in our truth and speaking our truth, and especially to ourselves, because it starts with ourselves. And just like if you have flown airplane, they will tell you that in case of an emergency, they will come out masks over the compartments over you, like a gas mask, and you're supposed to put it on yourself first, and then help your neighbors. And this is the same. We have to start. Everything starts with us. Our transformation. We have to make sure to take care of ourselves before we can do anything for anyone else. Yeah, There is more to that because we also can sacrifice a bit ourselves, our own comfort, in order to do something for others, and that can be very helpful. But in many cases, we need to first make sure that we ourselves are not drowning, so we can help someone else. And so the necklace of creation for me is like a necklace. I imagine a necklace where every soul is put like this next to each other, and we are united. And so the meaning of the necklace is that when you start living your own truth, you're helping everyone else. When you're speaking your own truth, when you are living in authenticity, when you are helping yourself to become better, you're helping everyone else to become better. And in that way, we're starting to speak our truth into creation. So we don't speak for only one, we speak for all. One for all and all for one. Um, and I personally want to remember those that don't have a voice or are stuck in situations, or yeah. And so we put on the crown and the vision and the necklace, and now we put on the cape of blessing. This one is new together with the divine vision. And the cape of divine blessing, I have seen this actually during meditation. Um, I had some guide tell me that lift your arms up, and I was supposed to put my arms up, and they put something on me like a cape, and this cape covered all of creation. It was like fairy dust. It was thin like fairy dust, and I saw how as they put this cape on me, they put a crown on me, I think, and as they put the crown on me, I had this cape, and the cape was like fairy dust that covered all of creation. And I think it was like my vision for creation, like my good intentions for creation, my good thoughts for creation, my feeling of unity with creation, my love for creation. All of this became like a blessing onto creation, a cape that covers creation. Um, and yeah, we are united and all things are working together for us. And as we awaken, we come a blessing onto creation because this love is awakened within us. Love for all of creation, love for all things, and the our love becomes like a vast ocean that covers creation. And so we put on the breastplate of righteousness. And the breastplate symbolizes a protection over one of the most important parts of our body, our heart. And our heart has many significance. Um, Physically, it's important, right? But also in many beliefs in creation, in Christianity also. The spirit and the individual lives in the heart, like everything is tied in together, right? God lives in the heart, you live in the heart, your dreams live in the heart, your wishes live in your heart. um, and so the breastplate symbolizes our divine protection as we stand in our truth. Not only that we have to stand in the truth in order to be protected, but we are protected. We are protected already. This is our truth. The truth is that, like, the illusion will tell you, you have to do this, 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 ABC in order to To be protected, you have to put something on in order to be protected. This is only a symbol. In truth, your highest truth, you are eternal. You are you are righteous. You are divine. You are blessed. You are loved. You are love. Right? Mm, we walk with God. Whether we know it or not, God is walking with us. You know? So maybe we don't always know it, but God is still there. Um, but as we take this truth, we come to God, we come to the absolute highest will, and we say like, I am with you now. And God will be like, yeah, I know. uh, but in that instance, we realize that we are protected, our dreams are protected, our hopes, our wishes, we as individuals are protected. We God, the absolute highest will, sees you, sees me as individual. Imagine all the focus of creation on you. The absolute highest will that created all things focuses only on you and says, ah, this will make her happy. Oh, this, I will make this for her. Oh, this will happen and that will happen. Oh, she has these dreams and hopes. I will make it come true. I will make sure that when the time comes, I will make it even better than she can imagine. So our highest truth is also a promise to us, a promise that all things will work out, that the best is to come, that we have nothing to fear. And so we need to leave everything with the divine. Trust in the divine. Leave it to the divine. Yes. And so, as we put on the crown and the divine vision, the necklace, the breastplate, we now put on the belt of truth. And the truth is what we have been talking about all this time, like our eternal nature, that there is in this moment evil manipulating in our minds, in our hearts, and this and that. But there is a promise of a better day. There is a promise of a paradise. There is a promise of an end to this evil. And we will see in time that this evil and this life that we live is just a flicker, it's just a moment. It will soon pass, and the best is yet to come. And that we are loved and seen, and that we will not only have peace, we will not only have joy, but we will have something beyond that what we can imagine, beyond what we could ourselves think. Because you have to understand, God, like this, all of this, as I see it, is a work of love from God to us. We will in time see that we never lost anything. We have only gained wisdom. God will, uh, or God has a plan with us in mind, and we will be overly joyed. It will surpass anything we could have thought of or imagined. And what a wonderful, miraculous thing that is. Sword of Spirit. The sword of spirit, again, is our truth, our nature. And as we live this nature and this, and we remember our eternal nature, as we look into creation and see the divine in our all hearts, in all things, in the sun, in the moon, the planets, the stars, all the humans, the animals, and all of this, and we start to reconnect with all those things, just by standing in our truth and remembering this, we will cut through illusion. We will break every chain. We will remove everything that is binding us and holding us down. Just by standing in this truth and this connection with nature and all things that are, all the illusion will melt away, and we will start rising and rising more and more. And as we free ourselves, we free others. We allow others to be free. In order, as we start to live our own truth, we start to um, um, we start to spread the same for all of creation. And so, the shield of faith. As we take on the shield of faith, um, as we put all our faith in God and all of this that we have been speaking of, about our higher self, our true nature, and we put all our faith into God, that means we have no faith in all the bad things, bad thoughts, bad feelings, the whispering stuff in our minds and hearts. You know, we have no faith in that, but we have only faith in God. No faith in gossip, only faith in God. And I believe that with time it will be very easy. It's like we don't even hear or see or speak things that are bad, but we only see, hear, speak, feel things that are of divine nature. Um, yes. And here I have put in the Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right path for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me. In the presence of my enemies, you anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Yes, the Lord Almighty prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. I smile as I walk through the valley of shadow of death. I rejoice, for God shine brighter in darkness. The last part was my own that I put on in there. Anyways, and I think this is so beautiful because it says, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows." So, as we are in the, because I believe in the old version of the Bible, of this part right here, I think it says, "In the valley of shadow of death," which I personally like more. I don't know. It sounds cool because there's a point. It's not only cool, but there's a point to it, and the point is this: even though you might be in the absolute darkest, most horrific, most terrible, most terrifying, you always can leave it to God. You can shift your eyes and turn to God, and that gives a big peace within you that transcend this world. So even though we are in the midst, the absolute darkest, most evil wickedness, Satan himself with all wicked forces, pain, suffering, chaos, torment, doubt, low self-esteem, feeling that we whenever evil and wickedness comes over us. And these are the real evil, really. Like, yeah, but it's also like physical pain and stuff like that. It's harder when it's the mental stuff, I think. It can be, at least. If you have low self-esteem, you feel like you deserve to die, you're not worthy of God. Those things are a bit harder to come away from. And but in any case, God tells us we are worthy, and that there is no evil, there is nothing where God cannot reach you. And God will prepare a table in the midst of this most evil darkness, whether it's mental, physical, whatever it may be. Your cup will overflow. Leave it all to God. And so that was the shield of faith. And the last one is new to the list: Gauntlet of Divine Touch. As we put on the crown and the divine vision and the necklace and the breastplate and the belt of truth. Oh my God, I forgot about the sandals. Sword of Spirit. Let me just say, shield of sword. Yes, I forgot about a small part. Let's just see here. And I don't have anything written about it. You can, when you read Ephesians, this part, Ephesians 6:10-18, they will mention the sandals of peace. Excuse me, sandals of peace. The sandals of peace speak about, well, actually, so in the Bible, everything is, um, I think this is from the New Testament, and it is referring to Jesus Christ and how Jesus came and died on the cross for our sins' sake, and in doing so, and resurrected after 3 days, and then transcended into up into heaven, and that Jesus will return. And by doing this, dying on the cross for us and our sins' sake, that we, the gospel, the good news, gospel means good news, and that the good news is that we are promised eternal life through Jesus Christ. And as we walk with that message, well, the message being our eternal life, that we are one with God, that we are one with creation, our true nature is bliss, love, harmony, and all of this. We can walk in peace. And so we should walk lightly in the world. We should walk happily. Um, I personally, yes, I do believe in Jesus Christ. Um, Jesus being like a teacher. Well, God, actually. Uh, minor detail. Like a teacher slash God. No. Um, that's my personal take on it. That Jesus came, died for our sins, rose from the dead after 3 days, and then transcended into heaven, and that Jesus will come back and there will be paradise on earth. Having that said, I would say I believe that's the truth, and that, but I don't believe like when the day comes, if you don't know about Jesus, that you will be judged in such a way that, oh no, you don't believe, so you're not going to heaven. Um, Rather, we will meet Jesus. Like, imagine being out walking, and Jesus comes up and say, "Hey, I'm Jesus, um, and the time has come for the world to be transformed." I don't even believe it will be like that. Um, I believe that Jesus. Anyways, that I don't know. I think this might be a topic for another time. Anyways, the sandals of truth, or sandals of peace, in the whole full armor of God, so to say. It's just the truth about our higher nature in the Bible. Yes, it does refer to the gospel about Jesus, and how we can be free in Jesus. But here I will be using it in order for a bigger audience, and so that more people can relate and use it. Our higher nature, our eternal nature, our unity with God, and as we leave it all in God's hands, that we can walk in peace. And when I do this prayer, I will. I can make the prayer. I think, unless it takes too much time. Yeah. So now I will do the prayer. I will wing it. Dear absolute God, highest will, highest truth, I turn to you in this time. Please guide me in body, mind, spirit, soul, in my thoughts, that I may think good thoughts, feel good feelings, and be guided to the absolute highest good. May all shadows, illusions, bad thoughts, bad feelings be transformed. Dear God, I put on the full armor of God in this moment. I put on the crown of eternity, and I remember my eternal truth, um, as united with you and all things in creation. I zoom out from Earth, and I see Earth and the sun and the moon and all planets and stars, and I turn back time, and I see how we are eternal. I see how all problems are small and tiny, and they melt away. And I put on the divine vision of peace, for I look into creation, and I see the Spirit in all things, in all hearts. And as I see the divine in all things, in all hearts, beyond time and space, all illusion melts away. And I know whatever we're going through, that it is for the highest good. And I do this for me, myself, for my wife, for my family, through my blood, for to all relatives alive but also dead beyond this, and also all humanity alive and dead, especially to anyone suffering. And so, as I put on the crown and the divine vision, and I feel the unity with all of humanity and all the plants and animals, with this earth and all planets and all of creation, um, all illusion melt away with ease. And as I put on the crown and the divine vision, I also put on the necklace of creation. The necklace where I see all souls being united together. And as I speak for myself, I speak for all of creation. And as I speak my truth, I help everyone to speak their truth. And I help everyone to stand up. To stand up in truth, in peace, love, and harmony, love and light. We stand united, and we become one voice awakening, one voice casting out all illusions, darkness, and one voice bringing peace, love, and harmony. And as I put on the crown and the divine vision, the necklace, I also put on the breastplate of righteousness. because our dreams and hopes are protected. We are protected. And as we put on the full armor day by day, we become automatically protected. We build up a space, an energetic space for ourselves, but also for all of creation. And our hearts are protected, and we are righteously speaking our truth, and we can walk out and speak our truth with ease. We should not be afraid, we should be bold as we speak. We should not be afraid because we stand with the truth, and we are humble, and we speak of love and unity, and these are not things to be quiet about, and we should not be afraid to speak our truth, for we are protected, and we should also feel loved by the absolute most high. Even though we may live in chaos and darkness, we are loved, and the best is to come, and all things will be well. We are protected. And as we put on the crown and the vision and the necklace and the breastplate, we also put on the true belt of truth. For the truth, the belt of truth, especially in dark times, we can we can wrap the truth around our waist a little bit harder. And remember, it's not so easy to remember always, but we will remember more and more. And as the darkness comes all around us, we remember our eternal nature, that we can be at peace. All things will have a nice resolution, and the best is to come. And God will not disappoint us. Rather, God will surpass our dreams and hopes and wishes. And as we put on the crown, the necklace, no, the crown, the divine vision, the necklace, the breastplate of righteousness, the belt of truth, we also put on the sandals of peace. For as we remember our true nature beyond time and space, feel the connection to all of creation, as we see ourselves as we are, and our problems start to shrink down, 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 down. It becomes tinier and tinier and smaller and smaller. We can walk every day, north, south, east, west. We know that God is in all directions and above us and below us, within us, without us, in all directions, in all forms, in all shapes. And so we can walk with peace throughout our days eternally. And so we put on the crown, the vision, the necklace, the breastplate, the belt, the sandals. We put on the cape of blessing, divine blessing. For as we take our own truth into our heart, and we stand united with all of creation, and we start to build this peace, this love, this harmony for ourselves and others, we start to bless all of the creation. We start to bless ourselves and all of creation, all things we see and hear and feel. And also with our prayers, we become stronger and stronger as we do this. And just like a cape, it covers all of creation, our royal cape of blessing. And so, as we put on the crown, the necklace, the crown, the vision, the necklace, the breastplate, the belt, the sandals, the cape, we take up the sword of spirit. For we are one with the spirit, and all of creation is one with the spirit, and the spirit is one with the truth. And as we stand with this, we cut through all of illusion. We cut everything that is tying us down. The fear, the worry about the bills, about having finances, about being loved, if we are alone, our health, our future, our past, our present. As we live it up all to God, we live it up and we remember our nature, our eternal nature, and we see beyond time and space and our unity with all of creation. We cut through all the illusion and the lies and the manipulation from the wicked principalities of the world. And as we take up the sword, we also take up the shield of faith. And we leave all things to God and all things to the absolute highest. And we put all our faith in God and nothing else. So whenever any problem comes, we have no faith in that problem. We know, oh no, that will not last. This problem will not last. This problem will be turned around. This pain will not last. It will turn around. This worry will not last. It will turn around. My faith is with God. My faith is with the absolute highest. These two will pass. These two will be turned around. This door might be shut, another will open. And that is the full armor of God. Oh, yeah, the gauntlets. There's a new part to it. Oh, and as we put on the crown, the vision, the necklace, the breastplate, the belt, the sandals, the cape, the sword, and the shield, we also have the gauntlets. Because as we take this truth into our hearts and start to live with this and let our minds and our feelings be occupied by the blessings, the gratefulness that we have for having what we have, we might not have an arm, but we do have another arm. We might miss one eye, but we have another eye. We might not have all the money in the world, but we have some money. We might not have many friends, but we have some friends. Sometimes we have no friends. Not long ago, I didn't have many friends. Now I have one friend. But I guess I have learned to let it go. I didn't think about it, but I think I've let go of my relationship. It's like some come, some go. And maybe this is the way we should be. Just be grateful for what we have. Even though I wish for health many times, I'm grateful for what I have, and I try to when something is a pain for me, I try to see the wisdom behind, like, okay, I need patience here. Or okay, I need to do this, and I'm feeling worried within me, so I need to work on this. And yeah. And so the gauntlets, yeah. It's new to me, so I'm sorry. But the gauntlets talk because as I was getting used to putting on the full armor every day, I realized that, or I think that we start to bless everything that we touch. And when I say touch, I mean not only physically, but also physically, it becomes a blessing when we touch something. But when we touch something with our minds, with our hearts, it becomes a blessing unto that thing, because we become so our mind and feelings become purified with time. We start to think about God and the blessing, and that there is a time of awakening, um, a time of when we're all we come into the higher realms, and that becomes our focus and energy, and so you can see how it becomes a blessing unto itself. And it's we whenever something comes in, we clean it up. We become a cleaning machine for ourselves and everyone we come into touch with, physically, but also in spirit. And so that was that. I hope you have enjoyed this full armor of God. And to wrap it up, I would say we live in a world, yes, there are. Oh, wait a minute. I would say, firstly, There will come a day of awakening, paradise on earth. We are living in those times. Uh, right now, we live in a world where forces of darkness exist, and they work from the outside, inside, all sides, and they have a lot of power. But we are here to cast them out, to tell them to go away, to bring peace, to bring transformation in body, mind, and soul, but also in the physical. But it all starts with the spiritual, doesn't it? And so it is. And so make sure to put on the full armor of God. What I have shared here was my own personal uh, full armor of God, but I hope it is of inspiration. And you can read about the full armor of God in the Ephicians, and you can also search it on the YouTube. Just either Ephesians 6:10-18 or full armor of God. You can search it on YouTube, for example. Um, may you have a inspired day, and may the awakening come soon. Um, I pray it does, even though I love my life. I am here for the awakening. Okay, stay blessed. Bye bye.